Is one of them the Hydra Splatling? Also, thank you very much for the 1,000 bits, Jacob Lee Zero. The Pride bits, no less. Thank you very much. I guess some people benefited from that. What exactly is that? If anyone happens to know. You can't do the method for Wind Waker HD barrier skip in the original game. But, I mean, if you could get the amount of speed that's necessary to do it, it would work. Hey Sigmund, thank you for the good luck. Oh, pride emotes. Okay, I see. That makes sense. Well, yeah, the thing about, like, the current theory for hovering from below glitches is that, like, if you try to do a zero-heart Wind Waker dive, you're forced to pull the Wind Waker, like, way before the knockback, or, like, the knockback damage animation ends. So you can't do the knockback cancel glitch with it, which I'm sure you already know, but I can't personally think of a way that would make it work. How do you make the text go so fast? I mean, if you want to make the text speed up, you just hold the A button while the text is scrolling. It still looks significantly slower on English, though, because the text is a lot thinner on English, even though the scroll speeds are technically the same, I think. It's the mailman to put a mailbox in Hyrule. Well, I think all postage stopped getting delivered to Hyrule quite a long time ago in the Wind Waker. Zora could have a postal service too? What Zora? I don't know if SD would be faster or not. I'm pretty sure it would be slower, but it would probably be a little bit easier. I imagine. Because, I mean, at least for, like, early Master Sword, you could just do door storage, or not door storage, chest storage very easily. Back in Time is only useful for some select meme categories in the original Wind Waker. It's not useful for any, like, serious leaderboard categories, unfortunately. But I consider this game hard to run. No. You can dupe small keys, heart pieces, and rupees in Back in Time. Oh, you're coming to SG? Oh yeah, you are. You just said you were. I mean, yeah, I'd be willing to do live bug hunting with people. I mean, obviously it's much better to do that on emulator where we can actually look at the memory, but... I mean, at least for me, like, not testing stuff on EMU, is fairly annoying just because it takes so long to set stuff up. Couldn't get Slingshot to apply to other files. Oh, from... I mean, it might have to do with when you're attempting to, like, start the file before getting the item. I know that the timing can be weird for it sometimes. Especially since the B, or especially since getting the Slingshot unlocks the B button. Like, there might be some alternate timing that you need to unlock the B button or whatever. I have no idea if the flags are set at the same time. Let's not go back into the trigger. Alright, time to copy files. I bonked into a tree, yeah. Yeah, you have to start your run with 3 empty files. Leaderboard rules. Otherwise, you could finish the game in 7 minutes, which isn't very interesting. At that point, it's just a glorified way of copying a file. I'm copying the files for later use in the run. Well, no, yeah, if you try to, like, load certain places early, you kind of just, like, can't do that. Hello. Because those places will be in layer 0, for whatever reason. That's just, like, a thing that happens in this game if you don't set story flags properly. Everything just loads onto layer 0 by default. No, reverse bit warping doesn't like set the correct flag. It would still like load it onto layer 0, unfortunately. At least from what I've tested. Like, there seem to be certain layers you can save on back in time to keep those layers on a file it shouldn't normally get to them. But some don't work that way. I don't know. No, it doesn't crash the game, but usually Layer 0 is like missing basically everything on the map. Like, usually all the actors are gone on Layer 0. So it makes it, like, impossible to try to continue the game from that point on Layer 0. Also, hey Mason, thank you for the good luck. Like, as far as, like, certain layers crashing, that's usually only if there's, like, some serious mismatch between what the game expects the layer to be and, like, what it tries to do with it, versus the layer that actually gets loaded. As far as we know, it's not possible to reach Elden in Bit, because the game always crashes when we try to. I beat you to it. Oh, well, sorry. No, Fi's audio is always the same, I'm pretty sure. Wouldn't make sense to make it different, because that's just extra effort. Because Fi's language or speaking sounds like gibberish to everyone, I assume. I mean, it's a Japanese voice actress, but... like, it's just gibberish in Japanese. Well, it depends, Joshua Wave. Like, what makes it run interesting or not is, like... It's partly, like, whether or not the run is difficult or, like, interesting to actually perform. But it also depends on, like, what the regular parts of the game that you do are. Right, like, if this run just consisted of, like, you know, auto-scrollers, then it probably wouldn't be very interesting to run. Hey, Krager, thank you for the good luck. Yeah, that's how early Light Pillar and early Skykeep did originally work. I mean, save prompts are just weird in general. I think the race is June 15th, yeah. At least that's what we're shooting for. Of course, you know, the night after the race was scheduled to be that way, I figured out Song of the Hero skip. So... it hasn't quite been a week. It's been like 5 days. It'll be a week this Saturday. At noon Pacific time. No, we get the Water Dragon scale regularly in this route. Hello, Dominic the Russian. My voice is pretty deep. Ah, yes, it is. This is the newer route. I feel fairly certain that the newer route is faster than the older route at this point. Not by very much, though. By like maybe 10 or 20 seconds. We're doing the Water Dragon scale later now because we're skipping the Water Basin. So it's not required that we go to Skype a second time. The person wakes up from the coma. They've been in since 2018 and can't wait to get back to learning Tad tones. The coma meme is pretty great. I'm playing on the Japanese version of the game. NTSC I think it's J1.1 or something. Something like that. Yes, we never see the Water Dragon at all now. I don't think any runner looked forward to learning the Song of the Hero quest, though. I know I didn't. Well, I personally don't curse. At least not on stream. I would not encourage cursing at all, but some people do it anyway. Viewing statue LMF bit warp. What's that? Or does that spawn you? Oh, does it spawn you like near the boss key or something? I'm just thinking like position-wise here. Like trying to overlay the maps in my head. Yeah, I've fallen off the tight ropes before. Usually it's because I'm out of stamina. Oh, spawns you in the Gust Bellows room. Eh, that sounds kind of slow, though. It doesn't take very long to get the Gust Bellows. Oh, but nothing's loaded is the problem, right? So the chest isn't there, I'm assuming? Or something. And then when you go back out of the room, the door locks. Oh, you can get the Gust Bellows. Okay, wait, so what's the issue then? Oh yeah, it probably is way slower. Really quickly. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll use that for low percent all dungeons, which would allow us to skip the small key. Yes, you can roll into crawl spaces. The trials, I think, are like one of the interesting parts of speedrunning this game, in addition to a lot of other things. I'm doing my best, Jiggy. Don't worry. Yeah, that would probably make more sense to do now, Azer, honestly. Even if it wasn't what the ruling was in the past. Because, I mean, in the past it was more of like just a meme. And I guess it still is a meme, but... Well, Dominic, I think Zelda speedruns are pretty cool. There's lots of cool stuff you can do in Zelda speedrunning, and I think it's really interesting. That's why I originally got started myself, sort of. Favorite item in any Zelda game? Probably double claw shots. Double claw shots are extremely cool. I'm gonna wait for my stamina to refill a little bit there. Well, unfortunately, that means we're going to lose 20 seconds, but I can easily make that up, so it's not a big deal. Well, Skyward Sword's not going to be at SGDQ. Also, I don't need to not roll there. If you want to see the extended blow or the Bokoblin jump, my PB was able to get it. Yeah, I'll be submitting this game to like future GDQs, of course. But it's not going to be an SGDQ solely for the reason that the submission period ended 3 months ago. Or roughly 3 months ago. Well, I mean, the reason the Elusive Glitches series got started is because I was frustrated that there wasn't anything in this game, or that there hadn't been anything for a really long time that was substantial. And during the series, I'd been playing around in Back in Time more, because I was planning on making a Back in Time video next. And then, well, then this happened, so yeah. I mean, there are still some videos that I could make on, like, things that are elusive, or, like, in this game. I mean, like, the Fire Sanctuary Wrong Warp we still can't do, despite having significantly more bird statues to do bit warps with. Which is kind of infuriating, because I really want that Wrong Warp to be in any percent, but no. Can't be given to us. And if there was a way to do it, it would actually solve a number of routing issues. And save significantly more time. Because of that. I mean, getting to those statues is pretty slow, so I can't really see them being used for much, honestly. Unless it saves, like, a substantial amount of time, like more than 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, like, if we can somehow load the bird statue for the wrong warp to the past, then we'd do a bit warp for that, of course. Like how the Bokoblin just got completely disinterested. I mean, we can already skip LMF with RBM without even having to access the main desert. Because to do it with a bit warp, you would have to access the... You'd have to access the Temple of Time area specifically. And I mean, I guess if you could do that, then you could also theoretically, or not theoretically, you would be able to do the wrong warp to the stone cache, which would be pretty funny. Another useless wrong warp, exactly. I mean, the coordinates for the desert are pretty far out, though. I don't know if any of the statue coordinates in Farron or Sealed Grounds would reach it. I don't imagine any of them would, because Farron and Sealed Grounds aren't as expansive as the desert is. Or, well, I guess they might allow you to reach, like, out-of-bounds collision, maybe. In which case, you could just run over to the statue and jump back in bounds. Well, yeah, all the statues unload either. It's not like that's the only one that unloads or something. I think it's something like actors will only load if your position is within the defined, like, inbound space of whatever the current area is or something. Or whatever. I don't know what it is. It's probably something like that, though. Just find a glitch that prevents actor unloading. Got it. It's like the opposite of everything that's always trying to be found in Zelda games. Because the question's always like, oh, how can we unload these actors so that they're out of the way? And now it's, wait a minute, how do we keep these actors loaded? Really slow start. Can you stop spawning vertical darts, please? Oh my goodness. That was really slow. Oh well. Not very good RNG from Mr. Girahim over here. Hey Song, thank you for the good luck. Alright, Junibug, well thank you for the good luck. Sorry to hear you have the flu. The worst part of the route is the Skyview Spider is back. Yeah, unfortunately he is back. No, I didn't watch the Pokemon Direct. I'm not, like, very interested in, like, playing Pokemon games these days. I haven't been since I was, like, 14, I think. Since I was 14, it's mostly just been Zelda speedrunning. The best 3D Zelda game to start speedrunning. I mean, that depends on, like, what you want to speedrun. If you're looking for something that's easy, Wind Waker HD is probably not the way to go, though. Wind Waker HD is probably one of the hardest ones to get into. I mean, unless you want to do like one of the really easy beginner routes, then maybe it's alright. But you still have to deal with Morph Hover in that case anyway. Alright, time to deal with tornadoes. Wow, only 2 tornadoes. The game was nice. Well, I think people stopped running Wind Waker HD because the Morph Hover without the bombs is like... It's really a sadistic trick. I mean, I've never even been able to do it before because my mashing just generally isn't good enough. Like, if my mashing was good enough, I definitely would have attempted it, but unfortunately it's not. Face plant. Now, no one's fingers died, but the Morph Hover without bombs is just a very demotivating trick to do, especially when you do it like 50 minutes into the run. After you have already had to have played really well for those previous 50 minutes. Oh boy. Saved 3 seconds for the side hop. Not that I'm aware of glitches and stuff. It's time for File 3, Early Pillar. Nice. You'll never get how this works. It's not generally that complicated. Essentially, at least what we're doing back there is, during the back-in-time sequence of the cutscene where the Elden Pillar appears, we're starting our file at such a time so that a value change during the cutscene happens after we start our file. And when that happens, then the value that says the Elden Pillar is open stays, like, set on our file, and then when we save, the value just gets saved forever. Also, thank you very much for the gifted sub to the community, Master Knifa. Alright, onwards to Elden. How was Back in Yime discovered? Well, Back in Time was actually discovered when a player was doing practice for the Sandship mini-boss in Any%. And while they were practicing, like they were practicing the boss because they weren't very good at it yet, and they kept on dying. So one time they died, and then they hit continue, but they were like, oh, wait a minute, if I just continue, I'm not going to get my shield back, because my shield broke. So then they hit continue, realized this, and then pressed the home menu to reset the game, and then encountered back in time. Well, Back in Time was found in Twilight Princess, like, almost 5 years before Skyward Sword even came out, but the Twilight Princess method doesn't work in Skyward Sword. Only one of the Wind Waker methods works. No, there's no Back in Time in OOT. There's Back in Time in OOT 3D, though. Kind of. Yes. Oh, I actually got all of them for once. Honestly, I'm not sure glitches. I just know that Bite is used to set the boss flag, which persists between files for whatever reason. Or which can persist between files. No, Ocarina of Time 3D uses Back in Time for 100% no source requirement, but not for regular 100%. Because doing Back in Time in Ocarina of Time 3D actually spawns you into the debug file, which has lots of items, and a lot of stuff on it has already been completed. So it has like 8 small keys in each dungeon. It has all the main items except for Longshot. It has a bunch of other weird properties to it. Has all the medallions, all the spiritual stones, I think. I don't know, Purple Photon will correct me if I get anything wrong. Okay, yeah, no spiritual stones. Also, yeah, it's used in Ocarina of Time 3D all dungeons, which is a different category. Also, I still don't know if that house is actually faster to use now since we don't need Water Dragon Scale, or because we don't have Water Dragon Scale. That was slow. So yeah, the weird thing about Wind Waker back in time is that, at least with the death method in Wind Waker, you always respawn in the area you were just in, which would be extremely useful for Skyward Sword, but unfortunately it doesn't work like that. It should have bit spawned you anywhere in this game. I mean, in most places it wouldn't be useful unless you didn't immediately void out, because voiding out in most maps, you just infinitely keep on revoiding out if you start at 0-0 and void out. Oh, your save location. Okay, never mind then. That makes a little bit more sense. Oh boy, we're almost back ahead again for missing the extending blow. Good bonk. Oh, that actually worked. Run's going alright. I didn't get the extending blow though, which is why I lost some time earlier on. And which is why I'm also going to lose some time later on as well. Why did you run all the way over there? Oh, thank you for the 10 bits for good luck, Devil Chaos. Glad you could finally catch a stream. doesn't make sense to roll there. SSHD will be on the 3DS. Oh boy. Does that mean it's being developed by Grezzo? Because I am all for this game being developed by Grezzo. Oh, nice. Oh boy, a lava hop. Oh, don't do back in time. Hey, Stan, thank you very much for the good luck. Grezzo is the company that developed Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D, as well as some other games for the Nintendo 3DS. And we typically make fun of them because the way that they like changed up Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D are usually like very lazy, and resulted in the production of more glitches for the games. Oh well. Big fan of the unrestricted items glitch. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, Grezzo's not a name that you're gonna, like, be familiar with unless you either work for them or you're in the speedrun communities for MM3D or OOT3D. the eye cooperate today? Let's find out. Yay, the eye cooperated. Celebration time. So we should be saving some time here. Of course, we're going to lose this time that we saved on Harp, so oh well. But that's because of the extending blow, not because of like anything that happened in Earth Temple. You think that boss forgot to hydrate? Well, maybe. Hey, Henlo. Pretty sure bomb is faster here instead of jumping into the lava, because you're farther away from it than at the statue. Oh, copy. Oh, this is slow now. I'm gonna save here. Nice. Actually, I wonder if this is faster, maybe. This lower academy statue is closer to that one diving platform. That text should not have appeared. I thought I opened file 3 to go into here. Guess not. Oh my god. What was that spawn position? Yeah, it's quicker to unlock Lanayru in bit. For some reason, I screwed it up though, because I didn't get that text when I was doing it. I didn't get that text inside the goddess statue when I was like timing it. I'm pretty sure it's slower if you get that text. Or maybe like Eden or something. I should time it from saving at the lower academy statue though, instead of the upper one. I lose more time on this segment if I miss the extended blow, because now I have to go through extra Phi text on this segment. Oh yeah, the tree bonk is just setting a temporary flag. So it can be done anywhere. That you can set a temporary flag going back in time. It's like if you had the slingshot, you could shoot one of the like little lights outside the bazaar, and that would set a temporary flag also. That guy is supposed to be betrothed. The game doesn't think that I've been to all of Lanayru, it just thinks that I've visited the one statue that's in the Temple of Time. So this Phi text right here that we're about to get, we would not get if we got the extending blow. Because this is where Phi talks about the goddess cubes. Yeah, that was a real long Lanayru visit. 7x04 is the magic bit. Yeah. Also, thanks for the sub conversion, Harune. No. Good voice acting. I mean, it depends on whether or not you include the cutscenes that we skip with him. GNS. Alright, it's time to go on an adventure. Or, I'll copy file one later. Copy file one as we're flying into Farron. A random guy who demands key from Grandma. Key! Alright, see you later, Blackwing. Thanks for being here today. And hello, sound of gaming. So it's very majestic file copying music. I crashed last time because I selected file 1 before going into Farron, which you're not supposed to do. Alright, now we're gonna have a chat with Impa. Wow, we saved time. Yeah, it's really bad if you take damage anywhere here. Well, no, you can still survive, actually. Like, you can still survive if taking 2 hearts. Just won't be very fun in Cistern, because you'll have to do... You'll either have to do the trick to get down to the lower level where the whip is without taking damage, or you'll have to just do slow Coloctos. I doused while entering the loading zone because I pressed C way too early. No, those splits with the pauses were never considered a PB, because that's not exactly speedrun legal. I did retime it afterwards, and I did end up PBing by like 30 seconds, but oh well. Well, yeah, that too, Azer, but I mean, you know, for safety, you can always save beforehand, if you're like worried. Yeah, the amount of text that Phi gives you before this is pretty bad. We actually have to go through that Phi text twice in this route, so if it was shorter, it would save double the amount of time that it takes. Or double the amount of time that it would be shorter. We never did the trial and bit in runs. That was just a theoretical idea that turned out to be true. It's not faster, from what I can tell, to do than Back in Time. Also might be worth considering skipping this light fruit now that we only do 2 trials. No, I haven't gotten around to, like, skipping the True Master Sword because I've just been so focused on trying to actually get the route to be really good that I really haven't practiced all that much, to be honest. No, it is not safe to press plus when you're flying with your Loftwing and Bit. You do not want to press plus whenever you have any sort of control over Link, because that will crash the game. Only during cutscenes. That was a bad roll. We're not doing the trial twice, we're just going through the Phi text twice. We're going through the Phi text in Back in Time later because it sets a specific scene flag value. Really, Azer? I thought it still crashed. Well, yeah, you can either copy the file when you initially fall into Back in Time or when you're falling into Farron. Either is fine. The huge time save happened because I didn't crash this time like I did in my previous PB. Because crashing tends to waste lots of time. No, I've never done a 100% run for this game. Well, I'm pretty sure there's a map in the sky, but do you just not get it during the Loftwing tutorial? I might have pressed plus when I was in a hacked lair that didn't do the Loftwing tutorial or something. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that position. I was supposed to save and quit. Hey, Deku Scrub, thank you for the good luck. The spiky guys in the top right corner are Wind Waker morphs. Oh, come on. That was dumb. Yeah, without, like, you can still get under 6 hours without back in time. I'm pretty sure, at least. Also, thank you very much for the Tier 1 subscription, Noob Scrub. Oh yeah, back in time is responsible for a majority of the time saves in this game. By far. Like, it's not even a contest. Oh wait, that's a temporary flag. Oh wait, no, that doesn't matter. I guess I haven't seen K2's optimization. Oh no, we're gonna die. Oh, that's K2's optimization, okay. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, that seed is definitely, like, significantly faster. Oh, well, good to know for next time. Alright, everyone, it's time to witness the magic door. First, the door closes. Then it opens up again. Such a nice door. Oh, come on. I'm bad. Oh, come on. No. Missed the whip jump. What whip jump? Oh, the jump back down to the whip room. I think you can just climb back up the rope, probably. Let's see why you wouldn't be able to. You're gonna have to fight the Style Master, though, which is annoying. Well, unless you're on the outside. Unless the door is locked, I don't know. Ah, that was really bad. I always have, like, the perfectly wrong angle for that jump. So now we have the small key overlaid on top of the boss key on the UI. Oh. The Zava was being aggressive. Have the small boss key, yeah. According to Indie Kenobi, the boss, or the second phase, nice. The second phase of the boss can be eliminated with 2 fully charged bow shots. Or if you have the Sacred Bow, it can be eliminated in 1 fully charged shot. Which might be the fastest second phase for any boss in this game, I think. I mean, you still have to break open the weak spot, unfortunately, but once you do, it's just a Sacred Bow shot and you're done. What would it take to skip the whip? You'd have to somehow get up here without the whip, which would involve RBMing 4 of those different turn keys. And then you'd also have to be able to either defeat the boss without the whip or RBM open the door that's after this boss. Which you can do, but it requires a file at the end of the game, if I remember correctly. How do I only have 2.5? Oh, bad RNG. There we go. Oh no, half a heart. I will be losing a little bit of time here, though. Yeah, can we do the sideways thing? Thanks. That was a bit scary. Oh, that sounded different because all of his other parts were already off, so they didn't fall to the ground. Must have been interesting to have to program this boss for that. Now we don't need the heart container. Oh yeah, for some reason saving and quitting there takes you back to, like, the splash screen. I don't know why. You need to save that file because otherwise it doesn't have the proper scene flags when you load it in back in time. It'll still have the scene flags for the area it was saved in. That's just what happens when you bit save any file. It tries to initially load in the scene flags of the area it was saved in. And then when the game's like, wait a minute, this isn't the map for those scene flags, then it like gets fixed properly during gameplay. You may have triggered a bunch of people, GNS. Well, there's no music after we load specifically a bit save that's on that layer of Skyloft. Because that layer of Skyloft just doesn't play any music, just plays sound effects. Still don't know if this is actually faster to do, but I like doing it. Alright, so for whatever reason, this RBM, or like all the RBMs that involve trial gates don't actually require doing another scene flag change, so we're just gonna die in the lava here. And when we respawn, the trial gate should be here, unless emulator is different for this one specific thing, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Yeah. There we go. That is correct, dubstep. The reason we have to beat Ancient Cistern is because if we don't, then the Imprisoned 2 fight is going to crash. And the reason we have to beat Fire Sanctuary is because that's required for getting the Gate of Time to rise up. Because beating Fire Sanctuary is what allows us to fight the second Imprisoned. Well, it depends on how you define skipping raising the Gate of Time. Like, because there are still certain story flags that we have to set if we want to be able to actually load the door to the Horde in the past. Because if you're on layer 0 in the past, then the past is just going to not load the door at all. The Gate of Time is the purple cogwheel in the sealed grounds. Why are we going forward? Thank you for the good luck, Daddy Zelu. Hello. Where are we going? I'm very confused. Calibration was way off right there. And probably still is, but thankfully it doesn't matter very much except for that one rope. Also, thank you very much for the 500 bits, John Boy. That's very generous of you. Oh, yeah, let's not do that. I mean, there are some maps that do use Layer 0, but not very many. I think Layer 0 is just supposed to serve as like a base map kind of thing. Like, I think Ancient Cistern is always in Layer 0 because they never needed to change layers for it, for instance. I know one of the dungeons is always in Layer 0. These trials are a pretty good part of the run, but not my favorite part. I think my favorite part is probably Ancient Cistern now. Because just doing the whole reverse bit warp sequence into it, I think, is really cool. Yeah, it would have been best segment if we didn't accidentally bonk on the bone bridge. Also, thank you very much for the extra 500 and the good luck, John Boy. Again, very generous of you. So, thank you. And thank you very much as well, DF Senia, for the Twitch Prime subscription. Hope you enjoyed the badge and emotes, and thank you very much for the support. For some reason, entering this loading zone with no stamina is the fastest way to trigger this cutscene. Only saves like a few frames, but it's pretty interesting. Am I going to task this game eventually? I mean, depends on if Dolphin ever gets the stuff that it needs. Like, if we can finally save the information that we need to be able to save. And thank you very much for the subscription as well, John Boy. Here are your trash bits. Oh, well, thank you. Also, thank you for the 40 bits as well, Get Smart. I missed the resub? No, I'm sorry. Well, thank you for the resubscription. I mean, at this point, like, I have to kind of focus on what I'm doing during some parts in the run. So if chat is moving too fast, I might end up missing stuff. I promise I don't hate you. Alright, time to go on an adventure. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription as well, Bimaki. Okay, I actually got a roll that time. Well, submissions for SGDQ ended in March, so it's a little late to try to submit stuff for SGDQ. Also, thank you for the good luck, Samu. Well, yeah, I'll definitely try AGDQ. I definitely know that I'll be able to go to AGDQ, because it finally won't conflict with school. My senior year of college, I won't have to miss school to go to GDQ. Oh, okay, thank you very much, Static Extras, for the Twitch Prime subscription. Hope you do all the shopping that you need to get done. No, I'm not graduating in the fall. It's just that the spring semester starts 1 week later than usual, for whatever reason. Thank you for the Red Ruby Havoc Parasite. I will be sure to take it with me. Thank you for the 5 bits pet. Nice bombs. Alright, who's ready to reduce lag? The reason we're doing this is because for some reason if you press A to go to file selection, Phi's text lags pretty badly. So, just constantly canceling the tutorial is the best way to prevent the lag. Except right here, obviously, because we want to be able to select our file. Oh. Pick up some water. Well, yeah, when you die in back in time and then respawn, I'm pretty sure the game reuses, like, whichever scene flags you happen to have loaded, the game reloads the map with those scene flags. Which may, like, despawn things or whatnot. Alright. Well, some enemies are related to scene flags. Like, seemingly random enemies are related to scene flags. Like, I think there's one Deku Baba in Farron Woods that, like, is a scene flag for some reason. Not sure why. In we go. How many deaths are in this route? I believe the count is 25 at this point. What the heck? Okay. Controls appeared to be, like, inverted right there. Bad aim. Come on. Aside from the extended blow, it's just like general enemy RNG and stuff like that. What's happening right now is I set specific flags in the Fire Sanctuary dungeon, which will allow me to then just simply enter in and get the boss key from the statue that we can fly into now. But I have to fly in there, and the only way I can do that is by bit saving back here, unfortunately. The flames that are, or the flames that I despawned in front of the Fire Sanctuary are actually back. So the only way for me to exit the Fire Sanctuary is like this. So thank goodness for bit saving. Well, I was talking about 25 deaths for the entire run. Noob scrub. That was just like my estimate. So now you can see that the statue for entering into the Fire Sanctuary is accessible. So now we're just going to plop down into the Fire Sanctuary. There's still one more flag that I need to set, though. Yes, the Canadian flag, clearly. You can't set multiple bits at once with RBM, unfortunately. You can only set one at a time. I wouldn't say that the Fire Sanctuary, or the one about the Fire Sanctuary bird statue is obsolete, because that was more so about the fact that we can't use it for a wrong warp, which I've always wanted. We still can't do that wrong warp, despite having more bit warping locations. Holding the weird mode at an awkward angle. I don't know if there are any statues in the entire game that give you the right coordinates. I mean, if you could spawn anywhere out of bounds, like on the really high out of bounds portion of the Fire Sanctuary, then it would work. Or if you could, like, obviously spawn, like, near the statue or something. Nice. Oy. I'm bad at Yurahim. I think you do need a very low Z coordinate, but I don't think it's too bad. It's like negative 10,000 or something, but there are a bunch of maps or like statues like that. Interesting attack pattern. Oh, and by Z in this case, I don't mean up or down. Up or down in this game is Y. It's because Z and X are the like horizontal coordinates. Oh boy. No, I do not think there is a credits warp in this game. Yeah, negative Z is north. No, Z would be coming out of the screen. Like if you were facing north. Oh, wait. Wrong way. I'm good. Supposed to be going to Farron. Any direction, yeah. Well, at least I noticed. Instead of going to Eldon and then noticing. Oh, nice, get smart. Thank you for the red rupee. I mean, I don't think anyone was actively running Skyward Sword. At least, like, not very many people were, because I didn't notice anyone running this game when I discovered Reverse Bit Magic. So we've all been kind of, like, relearning together. Although, yeah, I have been spending most of my time just trying to form a good route instead of, like, practicing stuff. But, like, with forming the route, you know, I just practice in the process of that. But I don't practice, like, specific things that I need to practice. No, you don't get a cutscene for picking up a rupee for the first time if you pick it up on your Loft Wing. Oh no. Still... Still don't understand how that side hop works, apparently. Okay, well. Nice job, me, for jumping too early. That's a shame. Get off you. We don't need to save 4 minutes. Hey Urchin, I'm doing pretty good. Best possible time and sum of best segments are differed by where I am in the run. So sum of best segments is simply just the combination of all of my best segments, whereas best possible time is all of my best segments added to the time of the last split that I had. So it's my best segments for the rest of the run after, like, this point, essentially. Hey Oscar, thank you for the good luck. Yes, Tad Tones is gone. That is correct.
Hey!
Oh no, I lost time. What a tragedy. That was really bad RNG with who I was targeting. Ah, well, 6 hearts. Or, well, really 4 hearts if I get forward skip. But we should be okay. Really? Alright, well. This should be interesting. Nice. Wrong wall to knock him over. You're dead. Thank you. Really? Wow. I need to learn the proper movement for not getting hit there. Oh, interesting that you spawned egg there. Alright, let's go get our one extra heart. I mean, personally, I blame the RNG that I got on the first set of blue-capped guys. Because usually, like, I've never taken 2 hearts of damage there. Or excuse me, I've never taken 2 hits or 4 hearts of damage there before. If I ever get hit there, it's always just 1 hit, but... Like, I actually died there the first time, which was surprising. Right, look, that time it was perfect. Like, where was that last time? Of course, none of it would have mattered if I just got forward skip. Link doesn't like jump slashing. Give her the good luck stuck pixel. We lost a lot of time. My PB was also extremely bad on this segment. Even though I really shouldn't be losing this much time on this segment. Alright, well, the ending of that stunk. It's okay, though. Also, thank you for the 200 pride... the 200 pride bits, Whole Pigeon. Thank you very much for the orange rupee, Get Smart. And for the 3 bits from an anonymous cheerer. Let's see. Should probably do more practice before I do more runs. Yeah, some of this can probably be sub 220. This run was mostly good, except for everything that was like after Fire Sanctuary, of course. I imagine I can still save a little bit of time on Door with like a good imprisoned fight, of course. And then obviously on Demise we can save like over 3 minutes now. Well, the end, it was... some of it was bad RNG, but some of it was also, like me missing Horde Skip the first time, for example. Like, that obviously could have been fixed. But, oh well. Alright, anyway, I think that'll be it for me for today.